Right. Okay.
You know, I didn't really feel it. You know, you were checking my knowledge, and that's why on the next opportunity I went too far to the right again. When a silver car was coming down,
Yeah.
I could have been closer to the left. I was actually blocking the road, wasn't I?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why I done that was because I was trying to give you a lifeline to say that, well, I'm not 100% sure about this left of centre thingy.
Yeah.
And you would know that I was 100% sure by a bit of Q&A before handing it back to me. Yeah. You know, don't just bang it back just after telling me once. You know, check my knowledge.
So I just passed it back too quickly without thoroughly checking.
You know, how are you judging your position for left of centre now, Tony? Oh, that reference point. And why is that important?
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm too far to the right, I could hit oncoming traffic. If I'm too far to the left, I could confuse people behind.
Yeah.
And then pass it back. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same with the cutting of the right hand corner. You know, it was just at no time did you actually, until I pushed you really hard, work on a reference point.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, I wasn't cutting the corners; I was slicing them, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I sliced the second one even worse than the first one because I was looking for you to pick this reference point up, yeah.
Yeah.
And it never actually came, did it?
No.
But then it came eventually.
I think I thought at first you were cutting the corner because I hadn't explained the reasons of having parked vehicles on the left. But then I kind of worked out after a while, because we'd gone through that then quite thoroughly, that it was because we didn't have a reference point.
Yeah.
Which I think is why it took me a while to get to it.
It was the how that I didn't know, didn't I?
Yeah.
And yeah, we got there eventually. Just took a little bit longer than what I should have done.
Yeah.
But as I say, you started off very proactively. But then you need to back that up with, I've made the error, even though you've got me back into the left of centre position before I got to the turning, which is great, yeah?
Yep.
You can't be more proactive than that. But you have actually spotted a weakness in my mirror signal position speed look routine.
Yep.
You've got to work on that weakness, haven't you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? And before you hand it back to me, you've got to make sure that my approach to it is, and how you judging this position, Tony? Oh yeah, that's the how, that's the reference point, yeah?
Yep.
And why is that important? And what's the consequences if you don't get this right? And then pass it back to me.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense?
So it was the thoroughness between, so the start out was okay, and then it was really the thoroughness and the checking before passing it back.
I mean, I would have given you a pass on that. But I just felt you were, remember we done it at phase 1, and you felt you were struggling to cover it on the move because we couldn't actually get a stop anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. What did you do?
Pulled you over.
Yeah. So when you were struggling with this cutting of the corner, instead of dragging the struggle on for ages, could you not have pulled me over?
Yeah, of course I could
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have nailed it in one great big hit there, and then we could have gone off and moved and nailed it on the move. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, I would have given you a pass on that. The pass would have been higher if. But you need to decide on what structure you're going to follow after an error has been made. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to talk me through one.
Yep.
Or you're going to talk me through two. Which? Because you never do tell me, do you?
Well, no. I think I'd have to keep it simple, so that you can check some learning's taking place. Just do the first error, make it safe. Go through the how they're judging it, then go through the consequences of it.
Yeah, so are you going to talk me through one then, or what?
So are you talking about one error or two errors?
No, are you going to talk me through, let's just say my left to centre position is wrong.
Yep.
Are you going to talk me through one?
Yeah, if I thought you couldn't do it, I'd check that if you knew that you're supposed to be left to centre first of all, and if you knew that was right, but you couldn't get yourself from left of centre. Obviously, you didn't understand or
well, I wasn't
the
left to
reference
centre.
point.
Well, you know, for me to get the error in the first place, I wasn't left to centre, but you were proactive on that, and you did get me left to centre.
Yeah.
But that's not the problem solved, is it?
No, because you need the reference point and then you need the reason why.
Yeah, so what are you going to do on the one after that?
Well, if I thought you did it all right, I'd...
Well, I haven't done it all right, have I?
Well, on the one after that, I'd do it with you, step by step, like in phase 1.
Yeah.
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 Until you got it right, and then maybe do it again, and then maybe back off a little bit, maybe on the third one. If you picked it up the first 2 times, okay, with full instruction.
Well, prompt.
Yeah, I'd go to a prompting stage, and then if you did the next few
Yeah,
right with
I mean,
prompts...
I'll be quite happy if you talk me through one,
Yeah.
and then before we get to the next one, which you're going to prompt me on,
Yeah.
or then talk me through one and then prompt me on the next one. But then before kind of, chucking it back over in my lap and ticking the boxes, what are you going to go back and ask me?
Well, I'm going to ask you... I'm going to check what learning's taking place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you how you judge it.
Yeah. Come back and find out with me, and then hand it back to me. Yeah.
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 Yep.
And that way you got a bit more structure to it.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you were very proactive. Didn't really spot the coasting on approach. Or did you spot it?
I think we went through it. Unless you did it before, unless you did it twice.
No, you did actually spot it. Yeah, you actually spotted after I made the turn. Yeah, you could have been a bit more proactive there, because if you spotted it as I made the turn, then you must have spotted it as I was approaching the turn. So,
Yeah, the first time you went round with the clutch down.
Yeah, and then you got me after I made the turn.
Yeah, then the next few were okay.
Well, you taught me to the next one.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So, how could you have been proactive on approach when you saw that the clutch hadn't come up?
Well, I could have just said...
clutch up.
clutch up, yeah.
Yeah.
When you bring your hand up to turn, bring the clutch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I'm only nitpicking. You did actually spot it, but I got round the corner before you mentioned it.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Where you could have done the same as what you did on the left of centre.
Yeah.
And actually got it sorted before I let the error have any effect on the car. I said,
Yeah.
come on, clutch up. And then go into the what, why, how afterwards, after you make the turning.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I'm making the turning with the clutch up, not down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that feel?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, no, it was
Okay.
Yeah, it was quite good. It was just a little bit more, a bit more structure to, make sure that the error is actually cured. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've picked that up now.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm actually coming back and chucking the error at you again means that I'm
Obviously, I haven't quite got it.
Well, yeah, I was not really happy that something as big as that was just banged back to me straight away without any knowledge being checked.
Yeah. No, I appreciate. I passed it back too quickly.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Just even by just asking me, how do I judge my position for left to centre, and why it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I give you the right answers, then it's probably quite safe to hand it back to me at that stage. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was no questions there, and I thought, well, I'm not going to go with that one. So when we came down and we had the silver car coming towards us, I actually blocked the whole road, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I actually stuck in a corner cut as well, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, you had two errors to deal with there instead of one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But you could have nailed the left to centre one by coming back at me and checking my knowledge, and then I would have been a bit happier. I probably wouldn't have played around with it, and then you'd have only had the corner cut to deal with, yeah.
Yep.
I was quite good at that.
Okay.
Pause.